Dips are one of the most important bodyweight exercises out there, but with so many ways to do them, how do you know which one is best for your goals? Whether you're training for strength, size, or you just enjoy dips as a movement, choosing the right dip variation can make all the difference. So in this video, we're going to dissect the different types of dip. We're going to be breaking them down to show how they hit different muscles differently, as well as how each dip variant might relate to different bodyweight goals. Right off the bat though, the muscles worked in all variants of the dip are primarily the pecs, major and minor, and the triceps, with the long head in particular taking a beating with deeper range of motion dips. Dips also work the anterior delts, which are responsible for shoulder flexion, and of course the traps, which are responsible for scapular stabilization. Basically, with all these muscles work, there is a reason why dips are such a powerhouse movement. The first dip variant that we're going to take a look at is dips on parallel bars, and there is a reason why these are so OG. Here we have a simple exercise capable of being easily scaled in a way that makes it as useful throughout the cycle of a calisthenics athlete in a way that is low risk, high reward. Beginner to training, it's very easy to leverage bands to augment our strength here. More advanced? Well, take your pick. We can increase the range of motion. We can introduce intra-rep pauses. We could work on rapid sprinting reps. We could add weight, or even amend our lean so dips do better at targeting different muscles. The advantages of parallel bar dips go on though. Dip bars are readily available as equipment in most gyms and most calisthenics park. With P-bars, we have a proven track record of developing serious strength and muscle, and P-bars can also be versatile in how we use them, with sub-variants like the Russian dips being performed on parallel bars. In terms of downsides though, there's a case to be made for maybe parallel bars having a ceiling. The rewards, for example, of doing seriously heavy dips are dubious at best, with many athletes developing pain in the shoulders or mid-chest from really heavy repeated dips. I'd probably suggest though that P-bar dips are probably going to be best for your beginners or anyone looking to build global pushing strength just generally. Straight bar dips are our next candidate, and here we have a variant of the dip that allows us to make our dips more specific to muscle up training. If we struggle with pushing out at the top of a muscle up, then performing dips on a straight bar makes sense. By shifting our hand position from P-bars to a straight bar though, we're giving our body a new problem to solve. Namely, lean over the bar and leverage the chest more, i.e. making straight bar dip more like a push-up and so easier, or lean further back, which allows us to get far more range of motion, but places more demand on just the triceps and risks us losing balance and falling backwards. We also need to be far more disciplined in our body awareness on the straight bar. Our elbows on the straight bar will want to splay outwards far more, and this is a fast way to an overuse injury. We'll also need to do more to keep our shoulders down and back despite things like the forward lean. The key downside to straight bar dips is going to be the limited range of motion, especially when compared to something like the parallel bar dips. With it being harder to get through that range of motion, we're going to have a limiting factor on the amount of muscle that we can build with straight bar dips as well. Straight bar dips are also harder to scale. There's not really an easier variation of this movement. And personally, if you did want to make them harder, I wouldn't advise performing them with additional weight. We just have better exercises for this. There's also an argument that depending on how mobile we are, our wrists, elbows and shoulders won't agree with this dip type over a prolonged period of time. I think straight bar dips ultimately are going to be great for an intermediate athlete, one that's already got full mastery of dips on a parallel bar. But like I said, they want to get specific. They want to build more strength towards pushing out that muscle up, or they want to build strength for something like calisthenics freestyling. On to dips on rings now, and these are easily my favorite dip variation. With dips on rings, we end up working more muscles. So as well as the pecs, delts and triceps, the lats and teres major will be called upon more as we have to work harder to create arm adduction, keeping the hands by our side, and actually also the biceps as we load them during the ring turnout at the top of each rep. But it's the instability of rings forcing us to create and maintain unreal levels of tension that can make this exercise extremely humbling. All the form cues that we should be doing on P-bars, we have to do on rings. We have to grip tight. We have to depress our scapula. We have to be creating that head to toe tension. We have to be controlling how one rep flows into another, all at the same time. With rings, there is no hiding. We either lock in or we fail. What this means with the ring dips then is that we have a cheat code for building more muscle simply from a forced increase in time under tension. And as long as we're recovering well, we actually have a really good way of increasing our connective tissue integrity over the long term. Couple all this with the fact that we only need a place to hang our rings in order to do ring dips, and we have a fantastic movement. The problem though is that ring dips are not the most beginner friendly, and even if we leverage bands to support us, rings still have a very steep learning curve. Who I'd recommend ring dips for then is any intermediate or advanced athlete, one that has obviously already mastered dips on P-bars, perhaps with a little bit of additional weight. In fact, I'd highly recommend doing ring variations of dips well over doing extremely heavy weighted dips if your goal is just strength. And I think rings are great as well if your focus is on building tendons of steel throughout your upper body. No matter which dip variation you go with, the key is going to be making sure it lines up with your goals and complementing your other pushing movements. But if you're struggling to feel dips in the right muscles and want to get maximum activation, then you'll definitely want to check out this video right here.